Hello and welcome to the Ilrasta channel. In this video, I discuss stories from Season 2 Episode 64 of the Donghua series Swallowed Star. The previous episode showed the fight between Bing Shan and Henderson, where Bing Shan kept trying to hold the third elder so he couldn't move to the location where Luo Feng was. In other places, Xing the Lion King of the Vatican, who had been in an alliance with the opponent, decided to leave the alliance and work with the Extreme Martial Club. He knew that the person on the other side he hated the most was Elder Far. He finally cut off Elder Far's left arm after the woman fought Yao Rao. So what is the next story? Let's watch this video until it's done. Elder Far was in a bad position after Xing cut off one of his left arms. Xing wants to get even with Elder Far for killing his friend, where he could no longer get away from the Vatican warriors and Hong's two main bodyguards. But in these crucial moments, a warrior secretly saved Elder Far by firing a destructive laser at Xing to draw attention away from him. The warrior then put Elder Far in the water and used the situation to get away from the area. Xing would have to forego his opportunity to execute Elder Far as a result of this. But he would not give up and would immediately leave to look for traces of Elder Far. He also didn't care about the wood crystal anymore because he had fulfilled his pledge to Yisho. As a result, the two wood crystals that had earlier become a source of conflict were simply turned over to the Martial Hall. Then, Yao Rao was interested in what happened with Xing and Yisho. Yisho told Yao Rao that Mo Henderson sent Xing, who was working with America, to fight Yisho after Yisho beat several opponents and fought over the wood crystal. Mo Henderson also hides Far's exact location because he knows Xing is mad at Far and has a grudge against him. But Yisho could tell from the direction he was going that Yao Rao was fighting with Elder Far, which is why he brought Xing with him. Xing didn't care about the crystal because he had previously made a deal with Yisho that the Indian side wouldn't take the wood crystal from the Extreme Martial Club. Meanwhile, the battle between Luo Feng and Eastbourne for the three wood crystals and now in Luo Feng's possession raged on. This one-of-a-kind combat between these two mental experts was vigorously contested, with both of them intensely clashing. Eastbourne was better than Luo Feng at cultivating, using flying weapons, and controlling mental strength. So, in his duel, Luo Feng used a variety of attacks to keep his opponent off balance. Since Luo Feng could also control weapons that could fly, there were more than in Eastbourne. At the moment, Luo Feng attempted to add 4 additional flying knives in order to increase his chances of victory in the combat. As all of Eastbourne's flying weapons collided with Luo Feng's flying knives, he fired his 4 flying knives. As a result, it can no longer be protected from its flying armaments. Eastbourne, on the other hand, abruptly used his flying weapon's thrusters to deflect the course of his attack, preventing Luo Feng's 4 flying knives from landing on him. Eastbourne's flying weapon control numbers were defeated by Luo Feng's. But the action he just shown was sufficient to demonstrate that Eastbourne's abilities were still superior to Luo Feng's. And after the man went into the water with his flying weapon, Eastbourne returned showed a unique skill, in which he used the water around the lake to hide his flying gun and turned it into a high-pressure water gun. Luo Feng didn't expect that this unique ability would even land on a water shot. However, the series of attacks that are quite difficult to avoid continues. At the time, Luo Feng was preoccupied by the water gun attack, which caused him considerable distress. Eastbourne secretly sent a flying weapon after another to attack Luo Feng. Luo Feng realized in that situation that he needed to break Eastbourne's attack trick as quickly as possible. He took advantage of a large boulder in this case, then aimed directly at Eastbourne, who was still hiding in the water. then Eastbourne emerged from the water, indicating that Luo Feng's onslaught had broken his attack, because if he remained under the water, he would be at a disadvantage because Luo Feng might still utilize numerous enormous rocks. Then Luo Feng counterattacked, activating his maximum skill because he wanted to see if Eastbourne could sustain the impact of the drill without the support of anybody else. But once again, we stepped in, showing Eastbourne's unsuspected abilities. Eastbourne unexpectedly released a skill called Abyss Eyes. Eastbourne's previously green pupils changed a golden color, and when the drill came crashing back at him, Luo Feng was suddenly unable to move his body. Another assault tactic held by a mental master is the capacity to access the opponent's spiritual consciousness and dominate his mind. When Luo Feng took control of him again, Eastbourne came back and used the flying weapons that turned into wheels. In the end, Luo Feng also had to be thrown in an extreme way toward the stone wall. When Luo Feng felt the opponent's barrage of attacks, he knew he couldn't get out of the battle. He was also worried that Bing Shan would have to hold Mo Henderson alone in this bad situation. Then we'll go to Bing Shan's side, where he already looks badly hurt from trying to hold Henderson there as long as possible. Henderson himself had just felt a big clash of energy from somewhere else, so he thought he couldn't stay there for too long. He was going to the place in question after that. But Bing Shan didn't give up and went back to chase Henderson, who was going to leave. The two ice warriors continued to chase each other. While Bing Shan chases after Mo Henderson will be directed back to the location of Elder Far, who was previously saved by an HR Alliance warrior. The warrior also gave Elder Far, who had lost an arm, the water of life. Elder Far's heart began to race after consuming it, and he felt excruciating pain as the water of life reacted within his body. Aside from being able to heal various diseases, the water of life can also regenerate lost body parts, with the exception of vital organs. The severed arm eventually grew back in a short period of time. Elder Far's condition had returned to normal. He then proceeded to meet Eastbourne. Yao Rao, on the other hand, learns from Bing Shan that Mo Henderson has eluded his capture. At the same moment, he was approaching Luo Feng, who was carrying 3 wood crystals, after successfully stealing one from Bing Shan. And to avoid being too late or too ahead of the enemy, they both accelerated their approach to Luo Feng. Meanwhile, Luo Feng is receiving warnings from Eastbourne to turn over the crystal. If not, Eastbourne will execute him on the spot. Luo Feng was forced into the rocky caves to dodge Eastbourne's attack, but with the power of Eastbourne's eyes, he could still discern the location of Luo Feng's movement, despite the fact that Luo Feng was hidden behind a thick rock wall. He also threw his flying weapon at Luo Feng, which he had to escape with difficulty because the gap in the space in the rock passage was too tight for him to maneuver freely. Luo Feng's movements were also becoming increasingly constrained by the enemy's mind control skill, which was extremely tough to defeat. Even when confronted with a challenging scenario, Luo Feng may apply a few simple methods. Finally, Eastbourne stopped fighting him by throwing the 3 crystals that the opponent wanted to distract him with, so that Eastbourne's focus was riveted on the 3 wooden crystals floating in the air. But the truth is that Luo Feng set this trap on purpose. Eastbourne almost got the crystals, but the active drill had to push him back, so he kept his hand away from the wood crystals. While that was going on, Luo Feng came up from behind to get the crystals. Eastbourne return, on the other hand, uses the power of Abyss Eyes to keep Luo Feng from getting the crystals back. At the same time, due to the influence of Eastbourne's mind control residing within his soul, Luo Feng unexpectedly entered his sea of consciousness. The effect of the Eastbourne's skill he was now experiencing brought back some important memories and moments from his past. Luo Feng was fortunate to find one memory that was most relevant to his current situation among the many that surfaced. And this is the comprehension of the 3 attack methods that a warrior master mental can devise, one of which can kill the enemy without touching them or making a sound by possessing one's mind. And it was from here that Luo Feng, like Eastbourne before him, began to grasp the concept of mind control. On the other hand, Eastbourne, who was pushed, was eventually able to stop Luo Feng's drill weapon and even take control of it. Finally, Eastbourne was able to imitate the ultimate drill skill in the direction of Luo Feng. But this Luo Feng was already clearly different from the previous Luo Feng. He could do the same now that he understood the concept of Eastbourne's power being able to permeate his mind, because Luo Feng was also a mental master. Luo Feng then counterattacked with the last traces of consciousness that Eastbourne had left, striking through the trajectory of Eastbourne's sea of consciousness until Eastbourne's attack returned to his head. Eastbourne, who was hit by Luo Feng's thought attack, felt his sea of consciousness ripped apart to the point of nosebleed. It was now up to Luo Feng to fight back. However, Elder Far appears unexpectedly in the middle of their fight. If the fight continues, the woman's presence reduces the chances of obtaining wood crystals even further. Similarly, Eastbourne, realizing that he would no longer be able to defeat the growingly stronger Luo Feng, told Elder Far that they would prioritize obtaining the 3 wood crystals. In those tense moments, M.O. Henderson appeared unexpectedly, swinging his fist at Luo Feng. Nonetheless, Luo Feng was the first to reach the 3 wood crystals that were a source of conflict. At the same time, a spherical, blood-colored energy appeared and enveloped the area where the warriors were fighting over the wood crystal. Everyone who entered the energy was unable to move because their bodies felt so heavy. And it was this power that had brought down one of the world's emperor-level beasts. The power that comes from being at the pinnacle of humanity, and the Extreme Martial Club's first master, his name is Hong. In order to keep the crystals collected by the Extreme Martial Club safe. After Hong finished praising Luo Feng, who had gotten the most crystals, Hong's bodyguards and Luo Feng handed over the 5 pieces of crystal that had been obtained simultaneously. They then flying away from the location. And it can be seen that M.O. Henderson was irritated because his action, which was about to punch Luo Feng, was thwarted because Hong's presence was unexpected, leaving him unable to act. After venting his rage against the stone walls, he left while carrying his subordinate, who had been defeated by Luo Feng in episode 63. Meanwhile, the HR Alliance continued their search for the wood crystal. On the other hand, there's Xing, who was waiting for the right moment to finish off Elder Far. However, due to Hong's appearance, his intention was not carried out. Without Xing's understanding, Sokolov from Russia was not far away, staring for revenge on the Americans as well. The news of Luo Feng's ability to counteract the 3rd and 4th elders quickly spread. After the incident on Misty Island, Luo Feng was certain to be among the top 5 strongest people in the world. He will also change his position as the world's strongest mental warrior master. Aside from the frenzied news about Luo Feng, which spread quickly, another inspector from the Extreme Martial Club would arrive on Misty Island, making the Extreme Martial Club the most powerful group on the island. As a result, the other parties no longer dared to deal with them, particularly Luo Feng, who could rival the 3rd and 4th elders. Since the first time he set foot on Misty Island, Luo Feng had had the impression that something was hidden within it. However, after further investigation, he discovered no evidence of alien civilizations. The commander of Jiayi then returned to China, unable to find any traces of foreign civilization. Whereas the 3rd and 4th elders had already shown no movement after their conflict with Luo Feng, which is attracting a lot of attention from the world. Furthermore, in recent days, the signs of the presence of wood crystals have been diminishing, prompting many elders and warriors to return to their respective countries. Then we'll see a glimpse of a figure aiming for Luo Feng. The figure here is nearly identical to the figure guarding the ancient civilization number 9. Who exactly is this person? We'll find out later in the next episode. And this time episode 64 is complete. In the next episode, I'll go over some interesting details about when Luo Feng went deeper into Misty Island and met an alien named Babata. If you enjoy Donghua Swallowed Star, please support, like, and subscribe. Please forgive if there is a statement mistake. See you in my next video, guys. Bye.